Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Answering the Bell with Stormybman, our Sunday morning call in for this Sunday, June 11th, 2023. This is number 81 in the series of call-ins, and we're moving right along. We've had a break or two here and there. I was even debating whether or not I would come on the air this morning due to the severe attack on my live stream last night by external forces. But then again, those who were here with me last night, you were able to witness what happened, and it's been documented. It's actually been recorded, so actions will be taken, and we'll see what the result will be on the other end. But for those of you who are out here with me this morning, thank you for tuning in, and hopefully we can get going on our regular regime of our Sunday morning show. We had a big long day of boxing yesterday with three major cards that took place, two on DAZN, one on ESPN. One of the DAZN cards was earlier in the day, which allowed us to be able to pick or choose between the evening broadcast between DAZN and ESPN, and the headliners were, for the earlier broadcast, it was Edwards against Campos, and the two evening cards were Munguia versus Deverenchenko and Taylor versus Lopez. Quite an action-filled day. We saw some good action, and we saw some questionable action. I mean, the entire way that boxing is set up now is we don't get what we want for the most part, but whenever we get what we like, we can enjoy that, and they seem to wean us on that type of scenario on a continuous basis. It almost staves off the appetite for what you truly want by giving you something that's entertaining. It's almost like a distraction. But we have to be smarter than that. We have to be vigilant in what our desires are for the sport, what we want to pay our dollars on. Let me not forget that Friday evening we had the return of Adrian Broner as he took on Bill Hutchinson Friday evening. I believe that was broadcast on Fight TV pay-per-view. I did not see that fight. I talked about the fight. I gave some thoughts about, what I thought, about Broner's return to the ring and everything, but I did not want to pay to see Adrian Broner. I don't care if it was $25. I'm sorry. And if he had success that night, if he looked good that night, if he were a professional that night, that's 1 out of 1,000. So, I'm good with the money that I kept in my pocket. And if he were to string together a succession of performances that would support that, then maybe I could have a different frame of mind and approach to that. But as it stands, that's what it is for me. You know what I mean? So that's about it for that. But we have fights going on through the summer, almost every weekend. So we will get a chance to go around and select what we want from the buffet table. You know what I mean? So that's just, again, when you do have choices, when they give you options, that's where you can really be empowered with your buying power, with your support for the sport. When they don't offer very much at all, that's when it becomes difficult. That's when it's a thing of, it's better than nothing. Well, again, you know, you make choices and you have to live with them. So that being said, good morning, everyone, once again. Let's see who we got in the building. We got 704 Joe out there. Good morning to you, 704. Appreciate you coming back this morning. You were there with me last night, and you saw exactly what they were doing to Stormy and his stream last night, which was very unfortunate, and it was ludicrous. Asante L is out there. What's good with you, man? Jose Diaz, I see you out there. You're seeing your comments on some of my videos. I appreciate you showing that support as well on the videos, Jose. Always out there. Todd French, 600, is out there. He says it was a very good day of entertainment. Yeah, you had a little bit of everything. A little bit of everything. Mahari Nation Sports Podcast in the building saying, good morning, Stormy B Man. What's good with you? Bill, how you doing? Appreciate you stopping in. Thrill Hill is in the building. Todd French says, yeah, I agree with you, Stormy. We just don't know what we're getting with AB. Yeah, and, you know, again, it's one of those things, you know. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, it's on me, you know. Jose Diaz is saying, Stormy, you're correct, 100. Yes, sir. T. Berry was out there. He's got those channel emojis going on. Appreciate you coming in, bro. AZ Landlord saying, what's good, Stormy? Salute to you. Right back at you. Appreciate you coming in. Lewis Hinton is in the building as well. And Mahari Nation Sports Podcast says, good performance by T.O. last night. Listen, man. And we'll get around to talking about that because it was a bit of an upset in a way. But then not very much so. One of the things that I would like to lean toward is understanding how the world works. You know, madness can thrive amongst people who aren't invested in the best of what they want out of life, in the best of what they have to offer out of life, the best of maintenance in life. So madness can seep through cracks and exist, settle in, almost like a virus. It happens. Think about it. For everything that we could see openly that T.O. was dealing with and is currently dealing with leading up to this, the opportunity for success could be questionable, a little shaky. But when you have people like Josh Taylor, who is unprofessional, he should have not been facing T.O. last night. He should have, well, months ago, faced Jack Catterall in a rematch. And this is a way of a comeuppance that many will not put the scope on. Now, after his performance last night, I don't give T.O. as much credit as I talk about Catterall not getting his opportunity against a man who really became undisputed and lost his undisputed title. And see, karma is something, right? It's like, dude, what are you doing? Now, what is a Taylor Catterall rematch worth? Poo-poo. And how long do you think T.O. is going to hold a title at 140 with the good fighters that are out there that you know he's not going to face? Now, he had the ability to do what he did last night, but he was in there with a man that's past it. I'll stop short of using a bad term in boxing about Taylor, but it may be more fitting. The more I think about it, and as we get forward, Taylor may be shot. He may be one of those comets that streaked across the sky and fizzled out before it could land on ground. Now, that has nothing to do with T.O. But there was nothing about Taylor with his vast experience and the roster of opponents he's faced to get where he was that he didn't make this fight a difficult thing for Teofimo. Teofimo is not the most psychologically strong person, and boxing is a tremendously mental sport. A great percentage of boxing is mental. And Taylor had nothing to show of that against a young man who needs help, and not the help of the sport of boxing. That's real. That's real. And see, sometimes in life, you need to be told the truth. You need for people to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And you need time to take that in and reflect and digest it so that you can turn the experience of that into something positive for yourself going forward. You can't just close doors and shut windows and put locks, because then you confine yourself. You confine your own development and growth. That's what that's about, man. Clarence McLean is in the building. What's good with you? He says, yo, salute my people. Stormybman, my brother. What's good with you, man? Isaiah GQ is out there saying salute, fam. Mr. Pete Epps is back. Isaiah GQ says Taylor said he wanted to move up and fight who? Taylor need to go sit down somewhere, man. Ken Buchanan passed recently. Was a great representative, a Scottish man out of Europe, and someone that made a great name for himself in the sport, and also was the man that Roberto Duran went in there and gave him some of what T.O. gave Mr. Taylor last night. So it be fitting that he go and now be sitting. You understand? Bars. Mahari Nation Sports Podcast says T.O. is going to get schooled at 140. Josh Taylor got tentative and didn't fight aggressively against Taylor. Jose Diaz says 140. T.O. is not going to do well there. Listen, man. T.O. needs to do better in his personal life. He needs to focus on that. And that's not me making fun, being sarcastic, or ridiculing. But you have to get your feet under you, man. You can't be out here floating around or skating on thin ice, huh? And it's a shame that there's a partnership in that whole process that's not going to help as well. You know, it's just a reality of what we're seeing here. Yeah, Jose Diaz, the truth is the truth. You know what I mean? It's like you have to, and I've gotten to that point. I guess it comes with age, because they say that as you get older in life, you start feeling a certain kind of way. And, you know, maybe I might not have had such a strong thought or opinion like that years back. But as you go through life and you begin to experience what life has to offer, even through setbacks, even through disappointments, a lot of times introspective reflection is important. But people seem to like to want to deflect and mirror what's coming at them and saying that is the external thing that's the problem. No, sometimes you are the problem. Huh? Sometimes. And sometimes conflict resolution is in demand, but you don't know where to get schooled with how to resolve conflict, how to overcome. Not just have somebody solve your problems for you. Come in and take that care of that for me, huh? Can you make sure that goes away? Can you make sure that disappears, huh? What do I need to pay you to make this all go away? See, that's the society that we're living in now, people. And some things you just can't pay away. That's the real deal. Yeah. PGH Big Dog in the building. What's good with you? Flawless Mentality. Dr. Mark is back with us. Salute to you. And Jose Diaz is saying, like you told me, think before you speak. You know, Jose Diaz, I'm telling you a short story about why I say that. I was in my late 20s. And I went through this phase of, like, when people would talk to me, we could be having discussions, debates, or casual conversation whatsoever, even whether it was at my place of employment, colleagues, associations, friendships, whatever. People would speak to me and say certain things, and I would take my time responding. To a point where a couple of people had said, "Man, don't you hear me talking to you? Why you quiet? Why you ain't saying nothing?" And of course, in relationships too, you know, they think there's something wrong with you because you're just not talking. But allowing yourself to take in what you're experiencing and think about it, process it. Because you're dealing on your time, not theirs. Because when you do speak or enact, it should resonate what your representation is. Now, of course, you can be upset and angry and act out a different way, and that's not good either. Reservation is important. But if you allow that process to take hold, and it doesn't happen overnight, what happens is you can be more definitive about your reactions, responses, replies, and they'll be sincere even if it's not what the other party wants to hear. So that's not your problem, that's theirs. You understand? It's very important, man. Very important. But understand what I said a moment ago about reflection and deflection. When people don't get what they need to hear or process it properly, then it's like the blame game, pointing fingers. But allow yourself to take it in first. And as you get older, with more life experience, those responses become more rapid fire. You could roll them off the cuff because life experiences bring you to a point of saying, hey, I've been here before. I've seen that before. I've heard that before. And then you can seem like a more capable person, a more strengthened and emboldened person due to what you've taken in. We have Dr. Mark out there. Dr. Mark is an older brother than myself, and he can tell you if what I'm saying is true or not. Because again, this is something that you pick up along the way. If you catch it early in life, that's wonderful. But to be able to retain that and go forward and to apply, because applying is very important. This is why I'm saying the things that I'm saying. This is why I make the assessment that I make about Teofimo Lopez, in case someone thinks that I'm going off on a tangent that has nothing to do with boxing. But if you follow my channel, you understand that I marry the experiences of boxing with real life on a regular basis. I have a show where that's in effect. Tuesday Tussle. That's what it's all about. PGH Big Dog says, what happened to Josh Taylor? He should be on a 3-fight losing streak. The hunger is gone. Hey, man, that's what I was talking about. I even said that little naughty four-letter word that nobody wants to hear associated with a fighter, especially if it's a fighter that you love, support, or enjoy watching his matches. Shot. And a shot fighter is not always a guy walking around slurring his words, walking on his heels, just going in the ring, getting beaten and battered. It's not that. It's a guy whose skills have come and gone. It's like you have a shelf life in boxing. You really do. And maybe that'll be a future Tuesday Tussle I'll talk about, because it's very important to understand that. There's another fighter out there that may be shot. A very popular guy. A guy whose name is really big in the sport. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want and don't feel like dealing with you guys, backlash off of talking about him. But he's out there. And y'all love this dirty draws. But he's gone, y'all. He's gone. He ain't what he once was, and he never was what you thought he was. How about that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Boy, I tell you, it's something else, man, dealing with this sport. This is something. See, there's Dr. Mark with that response to what I was saying. He says the sensei is absolutely correct and is one of our men of excellence in critical thinking for sure. To be able to use your mind, you can be very powerful. You don't have to have economic resources, material possessions. But you could definitely be a person of enlightenment and help the progression of people. Just being that person of sound constitution. But know that we live in a society that they prefer that you not be much of a critical thinker, that you just be a follower. Come on, just roll with the flow. No. Absolutely not. Yeah. Doesn't work that way. Yeah. So there he is. He's on the screen now. Old bald head, smooth bald head, freshly shaved. Old peanut. Yeah. So I'm here. We're going to kick things off in a minute, about to call in. But I want you all to think about some things. In each card that took place yesterday, in each main event, we saw something different. In the first one, where we had Edwards against Campos, this fight card, well, the main event, you had a guy in Sonny Edwards who's a very talented fighter of the unorthodox nature, okay? And Andres Campos was that typical fighter who comes ahead, gives that effort of aggression, looking to mow you down, break you down. But he didn't have a lot of power. Neither guy had a lot of power because they both only had like 5 knockouts in their career. But a good show, a display of contrasting styles. Now, though Edwards won that fight, Campos competed, and he kept the fight competitive. But he wasn't winning the fight. Then you fast forward to the other fight card where we had Jaime Munguia taking on Sergey Derevyanchenko. Now that fight was very interesting because you have this young upstart in Munguia who many felt is being protected and guided a certain kind of way. And boy, if that didn't ever show up in a fight before now, it showed up last night. Sergey Derevyanchenko is like 35, 36 years old. And he is the type of fighter that he's received a couple of losses on his record that should have been decision victories, specifically over Triple G. He beat Triple G, people. And the irony here is that Munguia and his people want Munguia to fight, and I'm talking about Munguia's people. They want him to fight Triple G. Well, he had a war of life and death last night against the guy that should have got the victory over Triple G. Crazy. But Sergey, listen, man, hats off to the guy. He's older. He's been done wrong. And all he's tried to do is fight. And his trainer is black, by the way. I'll say that, and I say that for a reason. Because he has gone through these circumstances and has had some successes and some setbacks. But he's never blamed the trainer. He's never blamed his trainer. Some things have been outside of his reach. And some things have been right there. Joseph Townsend in the building. Salute, Sensei, he says. Appreciate you. My man, Pac-Man Tay, is out there. He says, good stuff, Stormy. Appreciate the knowledge. Hey, man, I appreciate you, man, showing some support out there. Thank you so much, bro. Thrill Hill is back in the building saying, a younger Sergey beats Jaime. Listen, man. He was beating him last night. But Father Time is undefeated. He got tired. He fought at a pace that he didn't really want to fight at for 12 rounds. During the fight, they said that Munguia's people came to him and was like, let's make it a 10-round fight. They were even ready to offer him extensive amount of extra money to make it a 10-rounder. And Sergey said, no, I want the 12 rounds. In hindsight, even though Sergey felt that, 12 rounds would have been benefit him better, had it been 10, he might get the victory last night because he got dropped later and everything. But he was winning the fight. He was doing so well. And I had never seen Derevyanchenko go upside somebody's head like he was doing Munguia last night. The kid is big. He's big, but he doesn't have any head movement. He couldn't get out of the right hands of Sergey to save his life. And he was also down for receiving left hooks on the chin. He's just a mannequin in there, to be honest with you. Munguia. And as I watched that fight last night, I'm saying to myself, oh, this is why he's not fighting Charlo. This is why he's not fighting Andre. This is why he doesn't want any parts of Janibek. It's like these guys, they hit and they hurt. Okay? If he gets hit by those guys, he gets taken out. You could take a picture of him standing with his guard up like this and just set it up as a life-size poster in the ring, a cutout, and send the fighter in there to punch that poster and knock it out. That's Jaime Munguia. Now, some people may take offense to that and say, well, the boy has no ability to protect himself. And if he keep having fights like he had last night, he going to be talking funny and they're going to be feeding him soft food. I'm telling you. That's the truth. Oscar De La Hoya looked like he wanted to jump out of his chair and run in the ring and wrap his arms and his legs around Jaime Munguia to save him. It was crazy. Man. But you could see last night that that's why they were not. That's why. That's why. They've been avoiding the real talent out there. And see, Sergey, for the most part, was moving a lot. So he wasn't standing right in front of Munguia. They thought he was going to do that. They thought he was going to stand in front, but he didn't. He gave him angles. He moved around. But one thing he did wrong, Sergey. Every time he had Munguia against the ropes and he bored in on him, he smothered his own work. Fighting is like race car driving. When you're on that track in the race, you've got to be able to negotiate the distance of your car and the other cars in the race. You have to know how to accelerate out of a situation. You have to know how to slow down and coast and everything. Otherwise, you'll crash right into somebody or run somebody off the road and cause an accident, kill yourself or someone else. When he got Jaime Munguia in trouble, and I think it's Andre Rosell, right? That's his trainer, Sergey's trainer. I'm not certain, 100% certain, because all these trainers are in my head, I think. But anyway, after the first 3 rounds, when I saw how the fight was going, I would have told him, listen, when you get him near the ropes, jab your way to him and slide over to the side and start working the body down and up and down, but never stay in the same space. Don't stay in the same space. See, when he got too close, Munguia could grab him and stop the momentum. But he was hurt every single time. So if you're hurting the guy every single time, but you're allowing him to wrap you up, he stops your momentum and he survives. You got to stop doing that. You got to stop giving him those opportunities like that. All I'm saying, people, is this is how you can get yourself in a situation where the advantages that you have, you kill your own momentum. But that's what it is. But man, he was giving it to Jaime Munguia. Munguia was having a rough go last night. He was not doing well at all. And he's a very vulnerable fighter. They better be careful matching him going forward. They better be very careful. Michael Thomas is out there saying, yes, my brother, keep talking the real on boxing. Yeah, Thrill Hill says, yes, it's Rozier. Yeah, that's his trainer. Okay, I thought so. What's good with you, William? I see you out there, bro. Getting ready. Okay. Appreciate you. Well, I guess I can get ready to open up the call-in lines for you guys. We see who wants to call in and talk about it. Talk about these fights, man. Because very interesting evening of boxing. Very interesting. And, of course, the hottest subject is going to be T.O. and Taylor, and that's okay as well. But we got those lines open, bro. We got them open. So welcome. Why does this thing keep shifting over there? Okay. So who we got? Who we got? There's somebody like my brother Tay Jones, if you're still out there. Tay, why don't you call in, bro? Or Dr. Mark. Jose Diaz. Get some of the family to call in here. Show that support. PGH Big Dog. Said with his daughter, okay, I got you. That's more than enough right for you. Okay, that's a handful. So I understand. I understand. Yeah, but that Sergey fight, man, Did you guys think, for those of you who saw the fight, did you guys think that Sergey was gonna knock out Munguia? Because it sure was building toward that, wasn't it? It looked like Munguia was ripe for the pickings last night. I mean, my goodness. But I think it was the fact that he smothered his work too much when he got close to Munguia. Because at mid-range, he was eating him alive. But it was like when he was going in to do more work, he would smother him. And if you noticed, he got Munguia in several positions of getting Munguia's head beneath his shoulders, and he was the shorter guy. And what have I always told you guys about when a fighter puts his head beneath the other man's shoulders, where it's either underneath his chin or under his armpit, under his shoulders, bad things happen. And boy, were bad things happening to Munguia last night. That boy woke up with headaches today, I'm sure. I'm sure. Okay, let me test that out for you, William. Okay, William, I just tested the system myself. It should go through. Try again, bro. Try again. I just tested it myself. Yeah, it was so frustrating, Thrill Hill, to see him smothering his own work. It's like, dude, you know what I mean? You're getting in your own way. That was so frustrating, watching that take place like that. Yo, we got 504 in the building. Is that William?
Yes, sir.
Hey, good morning, man. How you doing?
Good morning, Stormy.
All right.
I'm okay, I guess.
You say you guess.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Just getting ready to get out of here in a few. I wanted to call first, you know.
Yeah, no problem. No problem, man. No problem. Good to hear from you.
Cal looks like you said, like a shot fighter. There was a guy back in the 90s. This guy, Mark Saunier, used to box. He went from amateurs to the pros. He fought under Joanne Kona Productions in New Orleans. Mark was kind of like Taylor. He'd just come in, brawl, beat you down. I mean, really beat you down.
Uh-huh.
But in his last few fights, all except for the last one, he finally lost. But his last few fights, you could see he was not the same guy.
Right.
He started taking punishment. You could see he was missing his punches. He wasn't accurate. I don't know how to explain it, but you could see there's a decline in his skills.
Right, right.
He went from looking really good from prospect to pro, like he was going to be somebody, to just completely, I don't know how to say it. His accuracy wasn't there. He wasn't putting combinations together anymore. He just was not the same guy. And that's what I saw in Taylor last night.
Right. So when I said he looked like a shot fighter, right? It's like,
right.
I'm looking, and remember this. I look at boxing a little bit different than everybody else, right? Like I don't look at it from a standpoint of a casual. I've worked with fighters in the gym and everything. So it's like there are certain things that you're supposed to be able to recognize. And let's not forget, Taylor's last tough fight was against Ramirez. And though he won that fight, he dropped Ramirez a couple of times. He won that fight. That was a hard fight. And so was the fight against Prograis and the rest of those guys that he fought in that tournament. They were rough fights.
I don't think Taylor's ever been the same since the Prograis fight. I mean, Reed just beat the hell out of it. And I don't know how the hell he got the victory in that. Well, we both know.
Because he was in the UK. Because he was in the UK.
Right.
Listen, when that fight when that fight was made, I said I favored Prograis winning the fight. But I said, in order for him to come home with the victory, he's going to have to come outside of himself. I don't know which show it was. It was one of my Friday night chop sessions because that's when I usually talk about the fight coming up over the weekend. But the weekend before that fight, I talked about it on my show. I said Regis has to go over there and he's going to have to do something that he's never done before. He's going to have to come outside of himself to win, to come home with a victory because he's over there. You understand? Right. It's like if he were here, he could do what he did and that would be fine enough to get that decision. But because you're over there, you have to put an assertion on things. You have to cement the victory by taking it. Like Earl took his victory from Kell Brook when he went over there. Right. That fight ended in the 11th round, I think. If the fight would have went to the scorecards, they could still call it a draw or something. You understand? And not give Earl the decision. But he stopped him, and that's taking the victory home. If you remember Josh Taylor's eye after Prograis, dude, it's like you would have thought he was going to be blind the rest of his life.
Right.
He had the UK eye too, remember?
Yeah.
And when he fought Catterall, he looked like he looked last night. The same.
Yeah.
The only difference is T.O. didn't. Catterall was trying to beat him down. Catterall was trying to win. Catterall put him on the canvas.
Yep.
And T.O. was looking good, but was afraid to put punches together in combination and everything. He found a safe place because he recognized at a certain point in the fight that Taylor's not going to do nothing. So he decided to showboat and wiggle his hips and do all of these things instead of going in there, putting combinations together and get the guy out of here. You understand? It's a different mindset. So if that's a different fighter, T.O. could possibly fold under the pressure of a different fighter. So what you're looking at is not necessarily what you're seeing. And there may be rumblings behind the scenes. They took that fight. They may have known what I'm talking about. The guy.
You want to know what the turning point for me in that fight was last night? When Taylor was putting it on Teal for a second, and Teal almost fell through the ropes backwards, and then Taylor hit him. If you notice, when that happened, Teal got pissed off. And Teal came out firing on Taylor. And from that point on, that was the change in the fight. Because once Teal put hands on him a little bit, Teal was like, damn, I actually got him. Let me keep going. And he did. And from that point on, Taylor looked like he was just backing up and taking punishment, and he was never the same after that.
Yeah. The guy doesn't have what he once had. That's obvious. That is obvious.
Right.
And I've watched this, you know, it's funny how, because I tell you, I wouldn't expect it, a caller to talk about what you're talking about. But that lets me know that you're watching boxing from the right viewpoint. The guy, yes, T.O. won that fight, but he beat up a guy that's on the decline. This guy, and it's not, he ain't on the decline just because he lost to T.O. He was declining before now. And the Catterall fight, why do you think the man didn't take the Catterall rematch? He was the champ.
He knew better.
If you really feel that you are what you are, you going in there. Didn't Floyd rematch guys when they say, oh, Castillo did good against you? You don't want, Floyd ran it back. You know what I mean? It's like the real champions will get in there because they know, like, if they're confident in their abilities, they can tweak some things and get a better outcome. Guys who don't want rematches, like Vasyl Lomachenko and Triple G, and when they don't want, that's because they only want things that'll go their way. Canelo, things that'll go their way, and if it can't go their way, they'll look to move on and go someplace else.
But you always notice if guys think they can beat somebody, they're going to take the fight. Yeah, and they're not going to hesitate. When guys don't think they can beat somebody, or they think it's going to be so close that they don't know if they can win, they're not going to take the fight. Which is why Oscar will never put Munguia in the ring with Charlo, Andrade, or anybody like that.
And they're probably double thinking Triple G now too, even though Triple G is 4,000 years old. You know, it's like when you look at it, it's like, my goodness, Munguia looked so bad last night, bro. I was like saying to myself, you know, as I'm watching Sergey do what he do, I'm like, no wonder they ain't tried to put this dude in there.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, Sergey was 35 years old.
Oh, yeah.
He's not 30. He's not in his late 20s. He's 35. He's closer to Triple G, like, in retiring now than he is in the midst of a championship run or something. It's like the dude is... Man, there are guys out here, you can believe they chomping at the bit. They want Jaime Munguia. They want him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like a fat kid want that last slice of cake. They want it. And Oscar going to have to do a tremendous tap dance keeping him safe. Because you know what they're really trying to do? They angling him toward that 50 victories. That's what they're really trying to do.
And that'll be the most padded 50 victories we've ever seen in boxing.
He ain't going to make it, bro. He ain't going to make it because it's too many. You know what it is? It's too many live wires out here, banana peels, that he going to slip on. It's like, that's not going to happen. I don't care how you angle it, unless you keep putting them in there with stiffs and dead bodies. And people ain't going to buy that. They're not.
No.
Especially after they saw what they saw last night. So if he tries to, we're going to put him in against Alexis Lopez from Mexico. And they would be like, who? That dude? And you look up and the dude got like 10 losses on his record or something. It's like, no, Oscar. That ain't going to work.
That's what they're going to have to do, too. That's exactly what they're going to have to do.
Yeah, because the dude is, I was looking at how he was getting hit so cleanly. And let's not forget, Sergey was a smaller guy.
Told me that's a long time ago. Munguia's got no defense.
None.
His face is a battering ram, you know? That's just all there is to it.
Man, he got hit so clean and so hard by some shots. And Sergey is not known as a puncher. He's strong and solid at the weight, but he's not a knockout puncher like some of the other guys are. If there's some of the other guys, this guy is asleep, man.
Imagine if Charlo would crack him like that. He'd be on the canvas.
Or that kid Janibek that everybody's running for, because he's very strong. You know what I mean? It's like the way he was getting hit so clean last night, man, it was hurting me. I was like, damn, he getting hit. It's like, you know what? Especially if you're supposed to be a top-tier fighter. Top-tier fighters could take a couple of blows like that in a round or so, right? This dude was taking those blows for the whole fight. It's like, you ain't supposed to get hit like that. You're not. So it's like, I'm sorry, but he ain't it, people. He ain't the goods. He's not.
Yeah. Well, let me get out of here, Stormy. I gotta get to church in a few minutes. I got a few more things to do.
Hey, man, I appreciate your call. Have a safe Sunday, you and your family, bro. Thanks so much.
You too, Stormy. Take it easy.
All right. Bye. That's my man William Old School out there, bro. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Man, Jaime Munguia was getting hit so clean, man. I thought his head was a speed bag. Man, I tell you, you gotta be careful out there in boxing, man. There's always gonna be a dude around the corner. I remember I used to work with a guy, and we would talk boxing sometimes. And this was back when Mike Tyson was undisputed champ. And you know, Mike Tyson used to have that thing. He would say, "I'm the baddest man on the planet. No man can beat me," or whatever. And this guy that I work with, his name was Ron. Shout out to Ron, wherever you are, Ron Willis. Ron said, "You know what? There's a guy in the gym somewhere beating on a bag right now that's going to turn that dude out." And he wasn't lying, because Buster Douglas was waiting in the wings. That's the way it goes, man. These guys be out there talking tough and everything, but there's always a tougher dude. Huh? Always. You can sit up and talk crap and all that. That you could be the king of talking crap. But just let it know, man. It's like there's always somebody out there. Always. Healer, what's going on with you, man? Healer says, how did Munguia win? Oh, he managed to drop Sergey a couple times late in the fight. And he won some rounds early, but it's like the knockdowns helped him, man. But Sergey was putting it on his ass. And Sergey just ran out of gas late in the fight, man. But he was putting it on. Healer, you got to go back and watch that fight, man. Munguia was getting toe up. He was getting toe up. You know? Jose Diaz says, there's always somebody that is putting in work. You are correct. Absolutely, man. That's just like, you know, I laugh about the, not so much the NBA, but the NFL, because, you know, they give these guys contracts, but it's not like solid. It's like they'll cut your butt, you know, if they get a new guy, draft him. But it's like every year there's a new running back coming out, right? A new wide receiver, a new tight end, those special positions, right? So it's like unless your guy is unless your guy is what's his name? Emmitt Smith or something, hey man, you're not gonna replace that running back that quickly, but there's always someone just around the corner. And just like William implied, it's like you got guys, they'll look good for a duration, and then, the star begins to fade. The light goes out in the dome, so to speak. It's like you got to change the bulb. Oh, my goodness, man. And if T.O. decides to hang around this sport, he going to find some truth serums, for himself. There's some fighters out there that will show him a thing or two. That dude, Sabril Matthias, man, I'm telling you, whoever gets in the ring with him, that guy right there, hey, it's going to be on and popping, because he going to come after you. I don't think Regis is in a rush to get in there with him. So it is what it is, Well, we still got the phone line open, so if you guys, somebody else want to call in, please call in. Let's have some conversation about this boxing, man. Let's have some conversation. Yeah, come on and call in, guys. This is what it is. We want to talk about the fights, the fighters, There's a cruiserweight out of the UK. Hold on. No, he's not out of the UK. Hold on. Let me get this right. I got to get it right. Got to get this right because I don't want to misspeak. Okay, we got 214 in the building. Who's calling? What's on your mind?
The 704 Joe, Dallas, Texas, home and welterweight champion of the world, Earl Spence.
Hey, man.
What's up, Stormy?
What's good with you, 704? What's happening? What's happening?
Good morning. Good morning, man.
Good morning.
T.O. situation.
Yeah.
Man, T.O. is on my Colbert list. Him and Colbert, man, they something. But he won. He won. I didn't watch the fight because I was working, but I listened. I listened to a little bit of Best Fight the Best, a little bit of KQKC, and a little bit of Blue Blood. I was going back and forth.
Yeah.
I could, between them three, I could tell T.O. won. Even though Best Fight the Best said he lost, I could hear in his voice that he knows T.O. won that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell in his voice he knows who really won that fight. Yeah.
My thing is, the fight was there for Josh Taylor to win, but he did not bring to the ring the championship caliber quality that he had displayed in the past, which is why I'm suggesting now that he might be he may be past it. Taylor may be past it. And some people may say, well, he's only 32 years old or something like that. Let me tell you something, man. A lot of fighters, you know, they have shelf lives. And
Yeah.
you
And
know,
amateurs too. A lot of amateur fights.
amateurs, you take in the training, the sparring, you know what I'm saying? It's wear and tear, and everybody has a different wear and tear. You know, like I was just talking with a colleague that's a couple of years older than me a little over a week ago, and he was telling me he's getting ready to have a second hip surgery replacement, and I'm like, dang.
Oh, man.
I'm like, man, you know, and I'm like, I'm so glad I don't have any problem with my hips, but who knows what 6 months from now will be, you know, or next year. It's like, it could be me, you know what I mean? But it's like, you everybody has a different shelf life, bro. And right now, but T.O., with the mental and psychological aspects of what you have to contend with the sport, not only the sport, but your personal life, but it's like with the sport, because that sport demands so much of you physically and mentally. Dude, if he gets in there with somebody who's hungry, who's fresh, who's let's just say like his age or whatever, that's when you're gonna see the truth. That's why his fight with Kambosos was such a war between the two of them. Because Kambosos was just like him. He's a younger guy. He was hungry. He wanted. That's why that was like that. Now Josh, who's older, but also has been through more wars and everything. So it's like, you know, hindsight being 2020, you would say, well, T.O. should have been favored, but not with the outside of the ring problems and stuff like that, or how he's been acting mentally. You know what I mean? So it will require a different truth serum to so-called reveal what's really there or not there with him. Even in the aftermath of the fight, he's still talking crazy. You know what I mean? Talking about he gonna retire and this and that. It's like the dude is all over the place, man.
Man, all over the place. His wife, his girlfriend, his father, himself. Man, dude is, I don't know. I think he's a little spoiled brat or something, man. It's always a problem with him. It's not a mental issue. I'm tired of these people talking about depression. Depression is depression, and mental issues are mental issues. You know?
Listen, let me tell you how depression is defined today. Okay? Now, this is the truth. Now, people might get mad or whatever, but I'm going to tell the truth about it. Depression today amongst society is when shit ain't going your way, you mad about it.
Right.
Huh?
Right.
Am I right?
Yeah. Temper tantrum.
When it ain't going your way, you mad. If somebody ain't kissing your butt, holding you up, you know, allowing you to be a part of the game and the team and everything, oh, I'm depressed. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
And people enable depression by telling them, oh, it's okay. It's going to be good. Listen, you growing up, you had people, bullies in school, picking on you and everything. You had to fight them back and this and that. It's like that's a part of life's progress, because the natural process in life, because even as an adult, people try to bully you, don't they? Even as an adult, you ever gone to the grocery store? No, check this out.
Yep.
You going to the grocery store and you getting ready to walk up to the register, and some dude or lady jump in front of you as if you're not even there, and try to, get in front of you so they could go before you.
Right.
And you look at them. Sometimes you might say something. Sometimes you may not. But the whole point of it is, it's the psychology behind it. Understanding that those people who were kids, oh, I'm depressed and all of this, and then they grow up to be adults, and there they are. Huh?
Right.
Cut you off in traffic, huh? When you're driving, huh? Yeah, this stuff is real, bro.
There's only one way to deal with a bully, man, or two ways. Fight him, or he's going to continue to bully you. One of the two. That's it.
Listen, I was at the store yesterday, going into the Sam's Club, right? Now, I'm pushing my little cart that I got in the parking lot. I'm getting ready to go into the store. You know the little guys that be out there gathering the carts and stuff, right?
Right.
Now, he's got all the carts linked up, and they got that little machine at the very end that pushes them, right? So he's at the front, and then there's a dude at the back. So I'm in the parking lot. I'm going toward the store, the entrance of the store, and the guy got about 30 carts on that little machine. So as I'm going toward the store, he speeds up and goes in front of me with that whole train of things, carts. And I look at him. I say, young man, why didn't you just let me go past? But now I got to wait for y'all to pull all these damn carts. He was like, fuck you.
Oh, man.
Yeah, little young dude. A young guy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he working gathering carts in the parking lot. So it's like he might not have even been 18, 20 years old. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I said to him never registered. It never registered because I say to him, listen, why didn't you just let me go past? It takes a second for me to go past, right? And then you guys can do what you're doing because there's nobody behind me. It's like, but I got to wait for y'all to go with this train. It's like waiting for a train at a train crossing with them going by with all these damn cars. I'm like, and he had the nerve to swear at me because I questioned his mentality.
Yep.
I was also at the store yesterday, and I saw on 3 different occasions that I made a choice to help somebody. I saw a couple of ladies carrying some stuff in their arms, so I opened the door for them. They go out, oh, thank you, sir, or whatever. But I'm looking around me, and I'm seeing it's like no men are helping or doing. It's like, wow. You know, the mindset has changed in society that people are just like, that's why we in trouble, man. If we ever have a national disaster or something like that, it's every man for himself, bro. It's
Stormy,
every man for himself.
Right? Okay, Stormy, I was riding bikes this morning, right? I see a group of women riding bikes, right? About 7 of them, right?
Yeah.
They get through riding the bikes. They all go up to the cars, and guess what? Their husband's sitting there, big belly, tired, looking old, looking unhealthy, while the women are working out. They riding bikes, waiting on their women to ride the bike. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. I know it's a little off subject, but that's just crazy,
No,
man.
it's not off subject, bro, because it's like we're talking about the mentality, because this channel's back into T.O. and his camp and everything. It's like he may have had success last night, bro, but it's fleeting, okay? It's fleeting. That's not something that's going to last. You know?
I got go ahead, Chief. Go ahead.
No. I'm just saying it's fleeting. That's momentary. But eventually it'll be, you know, somebody will take that from him.
I got 2 fights I want to ask you about.
Sure.
If it was to happen, T.O. and Regis.
Regis puts enough pressure on him that breaks him.
Yeah. Okay. And fantasy fight. Mayweather and Pernell Whitaker.
Mayweather and Pernell Whitaker. At what weight?
147. 147. Yeah, 147. He fought De La Hoya 147. 147.
At 147?
Yeah.
It's a 50-50 at 147. If you had said at lightweight or 140, I would say Sweet Pea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all the weird questions I got for you today, Stormy.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Hey, man.
There's
a show, man.
All right, and don't be a stranger, bro. All right?
Oh, man. You gave us the silent treatment last weekend, man. I just had to listen, so.
All right.
I just had to listen to the music, man.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right.
All right, peace. All right.
All right.
Okay, whoever that was, 267, trying to call now, please. There we go. Okay, we got 267 in the building. Who's calling? What's on your mind?
What's up, Stormy? It's Curtis.
Hey, Curtis, what's happening, bro?
What we talking about? I just turned you on.
Oh, we're reviewing the fights that took place yesterday, or if there's anything that you got on your mind that you want to talk about.
Okay. Now I was just thinking because I heard you talking about how the men, they're not gentlemen no more. Because I'm from the old school. I'm 62 years old, and I still open the door for my wife, and I still help people. Like ladies that that carry the stuff, every stuff like that. It just. I think we live in different times, and a lot of young men don't have the fathers at home to treat the ladies to treat the ladies like ladies and stuff like they used to doing things on their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, I see these things. I see these things, and it's like you could either be a part of the problem or a part of what is not the problem. And that's a choice. You know what I mean? It's a choice. You can open the door for that lady, let her go. And you've done the deed. You know what I mean? Now, to some people, they'll see, well, she could get her own darn door or whatever. But the whole point of it is this. You gave par gras, you gave way to someone else, and someone will give the same grace to you. That's karma. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like you could do that for someone can do that for you. But if you hold fast to anything that you could give of yourself to anyone else, why would anybody or should anybody give to you when you might need, or might require favor or consideration or whatever? A lot of people don't understand that that's how life works, but you don't understand it because it's not being taught. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's no longer a principle of ethic or virtue anymore.
I mean, because this just came to me now. A lot of these men, honestly, I'm telling you, man, they look like girls, man, with long hair, ponytails. That's freaking me out to me sometimes. Man, I be saying, you understand? What have these young men become? You understand? And then now you think the feminist women, that feminist thing because men don't do it, because women think they can do it by themselves without a man. You think it's that? Let me hear your point on that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because like I said, I was raised up, you understand, like I said, when my father, you understand, it's always been generous. Like when me and my wife go out, I still hold the seat in stores like that. And like you said, if I'm with my wife shopping at a store and I see a bunch of ladies with packages, it's to me, it's automatically to hold the door. You understand? It's just, it just come instant. It's not like I have to program myself. It's just instant. Because I'm a man. I don't think I'm, stronger or better than a woman. It's just the way I'm raised up. You understand? I'm raised to be a gentleman. You give me respect, you get respect. That's where I was raised up. I don't tolerate when no loud woman that try to be a man. You understand? Because I've been married for 25 years. So and my kids is grown. You understand? And
right.
I taught my two sons that how to be gentlemen. You understand? Because you don't want no loud behind woman and howl at you, that kind of stuff like that. You know what I mean? And most men, a real man is not gonna take that. He'll walk away. But then you got some men that say, "Hold on, I got too much pride. She disrespecting me."
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Because I can see that the way that you're an intelligent brother, because I could not just boxing, but the way you speak. You understand? I can see that, brother Stormy. That's why I try to catch you, because I got sleeping problems. You understand? A long time ago. You understand? So I try to catch your lies. I just had to turn you on. I caught your lie, brother. But I also want to say about Teal, I give him round, to me, a C. You know, because in certain rounds he laps. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was not a flawless. That was not a flawless performance by him yesterday in the least, huh? Not in the least.
Because I want to hear your point, because like I said, a couple of those rounds could have been like swing rounds, you know, because what happened, Teal would get off, and then all of a sudden Josh Taylor, he will come back. But then, like later on, Josh Taylor, he just gave up. I mean, stopped throwing punches, like he was trying to. You think he ran out of gas? Because he was tired.
Well, and this is the other part of that. T.O. found a place of comfort when he recognized that his athleticism, Taylor had problem with it. So it's like he could get out of the way with his footwork and stuff. But where was the aggression in T.O. to take it from Josh? It never existed. It never showed itself. Where was the initiative? Hold on. One second, Curtis. Where was the initiative in T.O. to punch in combinations and to really hurt Josh and put something on him? That didn't exist. This is how you know, and I talk about it all the time, about these young fighters of today. They don't even punch in combination anymore. They like to look good with a single solid shot. Oh, I got you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he's looking for that perfect shot, like fighting in spurts.
Yeah.
And another thing I noticed, because I forgot what round it was, that when Josh, I thought Chill was going to finish Josh, because Josh kind of like turned his back against him. I forgot what round. Do you remember that round?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like I said, it was a good. Like I said, I give Chill a C. You know what I mean? A C minus. You understand? Because I don't know if it was the ring rust, or he just a crybaby. Don't worry about it. Just because, like I said, after he talking about all the black fighters and all that kind of stuff. Or if you perform like that, or you scared to ask for a pay raise, who for? That's not the black fighters. That's your fault.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. I want to take a quick moment. I want to take a quick moment and acknowledge a super chat I got from African G out there. We appreciate you, African G. He says, salute, Stormy. Salute to you as well, brother, and thank you for your donation, man. We appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so Stormy, I'm not going to hold you. So God bless you, man. And like I said, you got me. Keep up the good work, okay, brother?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, man. And I see you out there supporting. You're always supporting my lives, and you're always supporting my videos, man. You are one of the You are one of the true people who I can honestly say, man, regardless of what I'm doing and putting out there, I see your name out there, and I see you saying right on 1,000, amen. I see it, and I acknowledge you, bro. I acknowledge you, because you know what? I'm going to say this. It's people like yourself that make me feel good about what I do, because you do show that support and everything. And it's not always about sending money or something. It's just being present and showing, brother, you go ahead. You could do it. And I appreciate that so much, man. I really do.
No problem. Well, you got me, Stormy, because like I said, I love watching scrapbook. That brother feet, man.
Oh, that's my brother there. That's my brother, Scrapbook. I talk to him a couple times a week, man.
Y'all not gonna hook up? I mean, like the 3 Ys before.
There he is in the chat. He just popped up. Scrapbook is there. He is right there in the chat. See, there he is. Scrapbook boxing. See, no, we got something in the works. But Scrap is putting together a big book project that he's got going that he wants to present to everybody, man. So he's got a lot of work going on with that. But he's still uploading new content and everything on his channel several times a week. So make sure you go over there.
I keep encouraging him because, like I said, it's hard. I'm the kind of person, I don't put my brother or my sister down. You understand? I try to see the goodness in everybody. You know what I mean, Brother Stormy? I always try to see the goodness in everybody. You understand?
Yes.
And like I said, just keep up the good work, man. And like I said, you got me, brother. You understand? I may be late, though, but if I'm late, I'm going back to watch the reruns, whatever. You understand, Stormy?
Hey, man.
Just keep up the good work, brother. You understand? And God bless you. God bless your family, okay, man?
Thank you, man. Same to you, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay, you have a blessed day. Okay.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
All right, that's my brother Curtis Price out there, man. I appreciate that, brother, showing that love and support and the compliments as well. Salute to Scrapbook, salute to Learn. I see you guys out there. B Mac, what's good with you? I see you as well. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. We had my man Healer was out there earlier, and while we can do this, we're going to take a quick moment out there to show my man Healer's project, The Focus Ball.
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a Focus Ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a Focus Ball. When you train with the Focus Ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit, making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the Focus Ball now.
Yo, so that's what's good. We got the Focus Ball out there, and you got the Stormybman's merchandise. Get yourself something, huh? You won't regret it. Getting back to the conversation of everything. This card with Edwards versus Campos had a cruiserweight feature on there, and there's this one cruiserweight in particular, Siobhan Clark. This gentleman is a cruiserweight from the UK. He's 5'11", so 6 foot tall. He's 32 years of age. He's a strong guy, and they're pitting him against certain fighters. And the guy that he fought on this card here, David Jameson, he pummeled the guy into a TKO in the 5th round. But Clark reminds me of guys like Michael Hunter and guys of that ilk. But I'm wondering what their objective is with him. He currently has a record of 6-0 with 5 KOs, and they call him C4. That's his alias. But he's a guy that I could see that he's being angled a certain kind of way. From Montego Bay, Jamaica. That's where he's from. He's born there, but he lives in the UK. We'll see, But keep your eye out for that guy, because he appears to be one of those bruisers that they're bringing along slowly here, So I've been watching. He's a strong guy, not very technical, but he's a physical presence out there. For some men who are physical like that, they can kind of bluff their way through things until they get in there with a guy who happens to have a set of skills that will test them in a proper manner. So, and like I said, he's in the cruiserweight division. Yeah. And there have been a couple of other fighters out there. One of the other things that I look at is this fighter that was on the card, Ellie Scottney, who fought Shanika Johnson. And that was a super bantamweight fight between the ladies. And it ended up being a pretty darn good fight for Ellie Scottney, who is now 6-0 after winning that fight last night. Shanika, Shanika was 15-0 going into the fight last night, but Ellie Scottney boxed her to a decision, man, and really did very well. Shanika is from Australia, and her last name is Johnson. I wonder if she's related to The Rock, because she has that New Zealand blood in her. She might be a relative of Dwayne The Rock, man. So if you guys like to do that footwork or whatever, investigate, take a look into that and see if Stormy is kind of correct in tying those bonds there, or tying those loose ends. But Shanika is 28 years of age, and she was ranked in the division as the champion, the IBF Super Bantamweight champion. But Ellie Scottney came in there last night and just really boxed her out of the championship title. And salute to Scottney, because her performance, as I watched that fight, she really showed me a lot. And she's 7-0 now with no KOs, but at the same time, orthodox fighter, 25 years of age, out of the UK, had a very solid amateur background. We'll see. But it's funny. I watch these fighters, man, and when they have a little something, a little stardust, I like to pay attention to them. I like to mention their names, because there's so much negativity going on around the sport that it's easy to get caught up in talking about that all the time. That's why I do my thing a little bit different. You know what I mean? And I don't think I'm special. I just do it a little different because I just find other things to talk about. That's how I can keep my interest in the sport, and I don't get taxed out because of the negativity. Because I had let that draw me away at another time. Just like last night, what they did to my stream. Someone had asked me earlier, William, I think, asked me, did I find out? It's still under investigation there, what they did to my stream last night. As you notice, I've had no problems this morning at all. So there you go. But yeah, I just do what I can, man. And for those of you guys who like my content outside of boxing, this afternoon I'll have a premiere for my Stormybman Reacts video on the Transformers movie. I do my little review on that. So got a chance to see that pre-screening last Thursday night and thought I'd just bring that to you guys so you could check it out. And make sure you check it out, give it a thumbs up. If you're into the movies or whatever, Stormybman, I like these action films and comic book movies. I'm not doing reviews for all movies. I don't do that. I just do what I geek out over. The comic book films or the action movies, stuff like John Wick and stuff like that. I'll do that, but this is not a movie review channel. And then I got to get back to my Kung Fu stuff. So just know that I do my thing. And for those of you who roll with me, you roll with me. And I appreciate it. You know what I mean? So that's that. You dig? But yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Take this off. Yeah, buddy. I'm gonna have some Kung Fu reviews coming up pretty soon too. Kung Fu Film Focus live streams and reviews of Kung Fu films, because I got another box set coming very soon where some Shaw Brothers films. And you guys know how I love the Shaws, and I know you love them as well. So, keep your eye peeled out for that. Learn says, can't wait to see Caroline Dubois next. Definitely one of the best UK female boxers. Listen, that might be the next Clarissa right there. I've seen that girl fight, and I'm impressed. She's a much better fighter, even at her infancy, where she is in her career, than her brother is. She is. And she's been watching Clarissa. She's had a chance to meet Clarissa when she was over there a couple of times in the UK. They all fought on the same card one night. And she's soaking in and basking in all of that experience. Caroline Dubois is the real deal. She is. And I am anxiously awaiting her next performance as well, Learn. I give her credit. You know what I mean? You gotta keep your eye out for the next talent that's coming along, and I think she's one of them. So yeah. Look at Sylvester. He's like, UK boxing is in the trash right now, Stormy. I have no hope anymore. Listen, man, Sylvester, that depends on what are you watching? Because if you want to say UK boxing is in the trash, I could say US boxing is in the trash. Okay? And I can give you strong points of why the US boxing is in the trash. But there are good fighters in the UK just like there are good fighters in the US. I mean, I'm not going to say that a country of fighters are trash. That's very ignorant to say that or to even imply that. You may have seen some UK cards promoted where you saw some things you didn't like, but don't say it's everybody, because it's not everybody. Just like there's some fools out there, but should I include you in that too? Huh? It's like, I've seen fools. And fools have shown me that they're fools. But it's open for conjecture who considers themselves fools. I ain't never heard nobody really say, I'm a fool. Huh? There you go. All the champions are not Americans. Well, Sylvester, listen, let me tell you something. You have a right to your opinion, but I don't endorse that, nor will I speak of a country or nation of fighters like that. Because there's somebody in the gym right now somewhere working on some things and will whoop some ass. Huh? So, there you go. There you go. Yeah, learn, that's true. And I just talked about Ellie, I just talked about Ellie winning the title from Shanika. And she boxed her ass off. Scottney. And just gave an example of that. The IBF Super Bantamweight champion. Leigh Wood is a champion over there right now. There are good fighters all over the globe, man. All over the globe. But see, just like it's been said, boxing is tribal. And whoever your countrymen are or whatever, if you love them and support them, you have a right to do that. But just to dismiss anybody else because they're not your country or whatever, or your flavor, hey man, that's an individual thing. But it also shows how short-sighted a person can be. Salute to Chilltown Majors out there. Appreciate you, Chilltown. Hey, Sylvester, you know what? You got one more time, bro, to continue to come at me like that, because I don't go back and forth with people. I think you should have understood that about me right now. But please, my show has been pretty good this morning, and I don't think that you want to go that way with me, because you'll be on the outskirts with a lot of other people, okay? And I don't consider that friend. I consider that foe. See, you keep going and double agents will always show themselves. You said something last night that was a smarky remark. I never go to anybody's channel and be disrespectful. The one thing I'll do is I'll state my case or whatever. But when that borders and the line gets blurred about what's respectful and what's disrespectful, I'm going to always maintain and uphold the integrity of what I do here. No one is allowed to come here and be disrespectful to me, because I'm not disrespectful to others. If you can't get down with that, get gone with that. Period. You see, it's always got to be somebody show their ass. I was just talking with 704 and the brother Curtis Price earlier. We talk about respect and dignity and how you carry yourself and everything. And then somebody got to come in here and try to show something different. Testing the waters, so to speak. Well, I don't bungee jump, okay? Because I understand that there's always a chance that the cord breaks, snaps. And I don't want to be the one at the end of it when it does. So I respectfully decline to bungee jump. But over here, when you go over the cliff, you're a goner, huh? The cord snaps, and so does Stormy. There's no misunderstanding here. King Vonnie, what's good with you? That's why I say it's always double agents, okay? Always. You think that they friend, but they really foe. And they try to slide in up under you, and then you see what they really are. But like I said, I don't play no games. I don't. Shout out to the mighty LDBC.
nigga. Next time you hear grown folks talking, shut the fuck up, yeah?